YouTube, Awesome Rider here. Welcome to my review for Ohsama Sentai King-ohger episode 28. So, we immediately follow our big epic season 2 premiere with a classic Sentai body swap episode, which was admittedly kind of jarring. I guess it's more so because this really did feel like such a season 2 premiere, and it was so, I don't want to say groundbreaking, might seem too extreme, but it was very different feeling. Sentai's never really done such a time skip like that. And you know, not like it was the most epic episode ever, but it felt like it had this certain scope and epicness to it about a new era, and it seems so funny to follow that up with such a classic Sentai trope episode. It wasn't necessarily bad, but it was jarring, and part of me is slightly bothered by it. I wish they would have given us maybe an episode or two more to sort of take in the status quo of things and set things up and then delve into a filler, but also it's not that. You know, it's not so much a filler totally, but you know what I mean. I think you know what I'm getting at. That being said, again, it wasn't bad or anything like that. You get all your classic Sentai body swap stuff. You know, you get to see the actors perform and try to be each other, which is always fun. It leads to some funny little bits and stuff like that. Same thing with, you know, the suit actors as well when they're trying to fight. As the first fight they get in, obviously, they stumble and they aren't able to defeat the enemy because they're having a hard time working with each other in these bodies and working in these bodies and stuff like that. So you get to see some fun, you know, physical comedy and some acting about the characters trying to pretend to be themselves and, you know, having a hard time working together with it. As, like, initially you start off with them, you know, all after the initial reaction and then going back to the kingdom, sort of using the power they have now selfishly to, like, make use of the kingdoms they're stuck in the bodies, and they kind of play it up for a bit and stuff like that. Everybody except for Jeremy and Gira, as they actually want to take this opportunity to sort of like walk a mile in each other's shoes and learn from each other. And they say that before they leave, and everyone else goes and be selfish, and they don't. And this is actually probably one of the nicest scenes in the episode that comes out of it, is them both interacting with some citizens that are worried about the current threat, and if it's tied to the Bugnarok, and then like one of the ladies says like, oh, of course, I know Jeremy's Bugnarok would never attack us again. And it was a nice moment from the perspective of Gira and Jeremy, both sort of, I think, understanding each other's perspective, but also getting this nice moment of like their hard work feeling like it's paying off in regards to Gira trying to bring everyone together, at least the citizens, and of course Jeremy wanting the Bugnarok to be accepted. So that was a nice scene, and I like that they had that within it. And of course later they also had moments where the other characters then started to appreciate each other by understanding the perspective of what their kingdoms bring and what each other goes through to a degree. So it was kind of like, for the most part, except for Gira and Jeremy, starting as a joke, but then they went to sort of more of a character-based thing. I still am mixed on them immediately following up such a big, you know, reveal episode with this, but at least it wasn't just shallow nothing, and they did have some substance to it. And it admittedly was kind of an interesting idea for this period of time where the kings aren't getting along, to have them start to understand each other by this body swap. And it makes me curious, like, is it going to continue very long into the next episode, and are they going to use that to bring them together, or was it just kind of coincidental? Because the craziest thing about the episode is actually when they all come together at the end for the fight, and now they're actually able to capably fight, and they're able to almost defeat our Monster of the Week guy, is, like, right at the end, all of a sudden their retainers show up and strike them down, and that's where the episode ends. It was probably one of the most abrupt and out-of-nowhere cliffhangers I've seen in any TV show ever. Like, you're doing this kind of filler of the week episode, whatever, like, it's kind of character-driven, you're having some fun, like, it's the classic beats, like, you know, oh, they're a body swap, they're taking advantage of it, they're learning a lesson, now they're coming together to fight and defeat the enemy, and boom, their retainers strike them down, especially since it's their retainers, who are mostly just comedic relief to me. So it was just so sudden, and then it just ends. So like, I did kind of like that. It was kind of sudden and interesting, and it left you really intrigued in a way that you wouldn't expect a random Sentai body swap episode would, you know, leave you intrigued. But I didn't hate the episode or anything like that. It was just kind of your average one. I enjoyed some of the bits with the body swap comedy. I do enjoy the sort of narrative perspective of the bad guy being like, well, how are we going to get them to destroy themselves? They're like, oh, obviously, destroy themselves from within like we have been, but with a body swap. I thought that was kind of fun. And again, I really did like the cliffhanger, and I liked the stuff with Jeremy and Gira and using that to sort of gain perspective on each other. But other than that, it was a fairly average episode. I would say it was a 3 out of 5. Good unexpected cliffhanger, but overall average episode. But what did you guys think of the latest entry in the long line of traditional Sentai body swap episodes? Let me know in the comments as always. Until next time, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and climb the steps and ring that bell so you get notifications for my videos. Awesome Rider, signing out.